He's been on the show multiple times, but it's the first time he's appeared on the Rich Eisen Show with something in common with the Pope. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Garlin is here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Yes, because the Bears, not the Sox, obviously.
No, but Chicago.
But I love the way the Cubs fans initially thought, oh, wow, he's you know, and they were so wrong. Yeah, the guy's online with his grandson at a Sox game.
Yeah.
It's exciting. He's from Chicago.
I know. But everyone did assume it was going to be Cubs, and then it kind of was like the ultimate curveball. It was the Cubs are White Sox fans.
I know plenty of diehard Sox fans.
You do, I bet.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, look at you and your Ron Santo.
My Ron Santo.
That's great.
I have actually something interesting to say about Ron Santo.
Okay.
So every year I sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and for many years now, and Ron was doing radio with Pat Hughes, WGN. Mm-hmm. And I love Pat Hughes, Hall of Famer. And so Ron was, doing the radio. And I go in and I talk with him. I have so much fun. And I would imitate Santo. He used to do these commercials for Seattle Sutton, this food delivery thing. Mm-hmm. And Ron, what's your favorite? And he'd go, Acapulco taco pie. I guess that was an actual thing. So I must have said Acapulco taco pie. That episode, every episode, I never stopped. And I heard that in the truck outside of Wrigley Field, it was shaking. They were laughing so hard. Anyhow, here's the point of the story. Not that I'm so funny. So when I left and I was done and I'm going over to sing, Ron Santo would get up to say goodbye. And that's really kind. You stand up, you're a gentleman. He had no legs.
Yeah, I remember.
He stood up to say goodbye every time to anyone, I assume, with no legs. It's inexcusable not to stand up and anyone approaches you and say, nice to meet you.
Well, you're the man. Jeff Garlin here on the Rich Eisen Show.
You didn't really enjoy that story as much as I thought you would.
I love this story, Jeff.
Yeah, but you moved on as opposed to examining it.
No, my radio audience just returned
I'm
in the
wearing
middle
my
of all
Chicago Bears.
You got your footwear.
Yeah, they're official Chicago Bears Nikes, and I got my Cubs thing on because I told you that's what I want to talk about.
You have the floor.
All right,
Jeff Garlin.
Let's just start with Caleb Williams because this has got me crazy. So he said what he said. His father said what he said.
Right.
It's not only true what they said, it's 900 million% true. And we've had we had one great quarterback and one great for a short period, Jim McMahon and Sid Luckman. Mm-hmm. For a franchise like the Bears, that's insanity.
Yes.
That's insanity.
Agreed.
And that is where quarterbacks go to die. I've seen them all die. Caleb Williams is a dream. Caleb Williams watching film alone by himself. And by the way, Shane Waldron's your offensive coordinator. Okay. I don't even want to get into the head coach.
So he not only was right, he was proven right.
No, but
later on.
But not only proven right, he was right when I heard the dad say that, and I thought, we got to get him. Please don't,
Right.
And, try and wiggle your way in a Manning way out of it. But he came, and now it's looking like a great choice.
Correct.
But Eberflus knows so much about the quarterback position. And did you watch the what's that show on HBO?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Did you watch the Bears Hard Knocks?
On occasion, I did.
Unequivocally, I'm a Bears fan. The most boring Hard Knocks. It was like dig into Eberflus's personality, and then he would meet with Caleb Williams to discuss what he was doing right or wrong. And Caleb Williams was so yes, sir. And I go, this kid's gonna die. This kid is just, he's doing his best to dive into the crappiest situation. Nothing was said about the other players on the team. Nothing was said about the quality of the defense or the offense.
Right.
Quarterback specific. So the fact that any Bear fan, any real true Bear fan who knows what they're talking about, you can see I'm passionate, agrees with it 100%. And
Yeah.
I just think that, come on. It's infuriating that, like, what are the Bears fans going to do? What's the press? The fact that they even ask questions. Well, what do you think about what your father, like, he hasn't done a press conference yet, but it's like, what is the coach going to say? He's laughing about it. He can't say that the previous regime sucked. He can't do that.
No, and he won't, because he didn't do it at all last year, which is, again, to his credit, that we learned about it live on the air. We were reading the story live on the air and reacting to it live on the air. And my first thought was like, Bears fans will not like hearing this about their organization. Then midway through, I'm like, well, actually, this is what they've been saying about their own organization.
Well, I don't know Bear fans.
They're echoing it. He's echoing it back. And then was proven correct by the circumstances of the season. And not once while he was getting his ass beat did he make mention whatsoever about any of his reservations.
No, he held it with
prior
class.
to the draft.
He was a pro. He was a pro.
Agreed.
His rookie season, the guy was a pro.
He got his ass beaten.
My God.
But now they do seem to have the right coach. They really do.
No,
we haven't seen it yet.
No. It's, and what they added with the offense, and I agree with you, Loveland's going to be a monster.
Dude.
And they already had a great tight end, so it's going to be...
The two tight ends are going to be really good friends for him, certainly as he goes through
and
his
we got that Luther
and
Perkins later. I call him that Luther Perkins,
right.
as if he has his own comedy show. That Luther Perkins. It'd be great if he was funny.
Right.
By the way, I want to say something.
Yes.
I did get a little excited there, but this is my first appearance since I've been diagnosed bipolar. So my mania in the past may not have been from excitement and actually from a mental health issue.
I had no idea, Jeff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't. I'm not afraid to share it wherever I share it. But when I think about appearances on talk shows and I watch them, I go, "Oh, you poor guy, you're out of control." The worst appearance I ever had, which happened like 3 years ago, celebrity. What's the one with the guess the letters? My brain.
Wheel of Fortune.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. And there was no point during the show, and I'm not exaggerating, because I watched it and cried once I was diagnosed.
When you watched it back.
Yeah, when I knew what was going on, because there was no moment where I wasn't. And I was funny. See, that's the thing that saved me is being funny.
Right.
But I just thought, this guy, it's so sad. I felt so sad watching that. You know what? During the thing, Donny Osmond was one of the celebrities. And do you know how many times I went, "You're Donny Osmond," just randomly through it. And so I was funny, but it was sad. It was so sad.
Well, I told you the first time I saw you in the back there, you look great.
Well, thank you. I'm a handsome young lady.
You're a big bowl of handsome young lady.
Big bowl of
You're exactly that.
So and I'm so happy to be here because, I love your show so much. I watch it all the time. I've listened to it a few times.
Thank you.
Because it's like, oh, Rich is on. But I love watching it. And I watch most of it on YouTube. Your YouTube thing is great.
I appreciate you saying that.
And so, because, time-wise, whatever. But I make a point to watch pretty much every day. And so being on here now, I'm so happy to be here. And a couple things.
Yes.
This gentleman over here,
Christopher Brockman,
has the greatest wife ever.
We know that.
No. I know her. Fact. We toured together.
Well, you were the one. You were the one who came here years ago, and you stroll out on the set, and you're like, "I know something." You said it in front of me. "I know something about you." You said to me that I know something about you, pointing to Chris, that you, meaning me, don't. That's what you said.
Oh, really?
Yes, because you had just known that they had just met, Sarah.
Well, yeah, she told
Chris.
me. And your son playing golf, by the way. Are you kidding me?
How great was that?
Are you kidding me?
He's striping it right down the middle.
No, the swing. I'm a fake golfer. I played on curb, and I was a big 9-hole guy till Harvard Westlake tore down Whitsett.
Right.
Which is just, I don't even. Anyhow. And,
be careful, because Harvard Westlake sent Pete Crow-Armstrong into your life.
By the way, I've talked about it with him. Do you know Join the Band out here?
No, I don't. What is that?
It's like a thing where, like School of Rock, where your kids do.
Sure.
And my son was a drummer in a band.
Yes.
Pete Crow-Armstrong was the lead singer.
Get out of here.
Oh, my God. He even said to me when I said, "How's Duke?" Pete Crow-Armstrong was the sweetest guy. I did the movie. I was in Little Big League with his mother.
Now this is like, where's Kevin Bacon in all this, right?
Yeah,
pretty close.
Yeah,
no kidding.
No kidding. And I haven't seen her in a long time. Nice lady. You know, on that movie, my big memory was I got to sit and have a conversation with Jason Robards about the Yankees.
Was he a Yankee fan?
Oh my God, giant.
No kidding.
Yeah. Giant.
All right.
Yeah, but that was, you look back on those things in your life, it's like, oh, I sat with him and talked about that. Beautiful. But yeah, Pete Crow-Armstrong is what we young people call a dream.
He's unbelievable.
No, he's a dream. And he played with that enthusiasm last year. See, I thought he could do what he's doing now.
Okay.
Because he did it in the minor leagues. He what the word mashed. He mashed.
Yes, he did.
He got to the pros, had trouble hitting, could run like the wind, and the defense was from the get-go was unquestionably the best in maybe baseball.
See now you're obviously online. You're seeing what his son teeing it up, and you're kind enough to say what you say about the show. Did you see LD sitting courtside next to Susie Essman for the Halliburton game? Did you see that?
Ask me what I think when I see that.
What do you think when you see it?
I have season tickets to the Clippers. I invited him to Clippers Knicks. No, I don't feel nah, because he didn't want to. He wanted to take a helicopter to the game or whatever it was, because when the Lakers played the Knicks, he's sitting next to Ari Emanuel on the courtside, and I did give him crap for that. And then I see him courtside with Susie. Oh, Knicks playoff, Susie.
It seems like it's a Curb episode, you know what I mean?
Yes, it does. Like he'll trip.
Everyone's saying that he's going to trip Karl Anthony Towns or something like that.
Yeah, no.
But
the Knicks, I feel bad for them.
He saw.
I know.
A heartbreaker, a gutter.
The only comeback that was more impressive than that one was the one that Bulls did in the middle of the season.
Against, I think it was against.
It was. I know I was going to swear, but it was ridiculous. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
I do remember something like that.
It was like, and also Edmonton's comeback to win.
All right, look at you swamping sports here.
The point I'm making is. Yes. Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And I am happy for the people of Indianapolis. You got to be happy for them because they live in Indianapolis.
Look at you, man.
What have they got? Do you know, by the way, people there, not even be careful, the people there are great.
Yes, they are.
They are great because I performed there, and my opening line was, you don't have to live here. And they laughed. Hold on. Yeah. They laughed so hard, and that's all you need to hear from a community to go, okay, these people, I'm going to have fun this weekend. They are great. So I mean that, but I don't mean that. It's Indianapolis. I don't want to go there. But they're so good.
I'm looking up what you texted me, your tour dates. June 8th, the Comedy Castle in Detroit.
Yes.
The famed Ice House of Pasadena.
That is my that's my 43rd anniversary being a comedian.
At the Ice House, or just on these dates?
That weekend. No, the weekend at the Ice House. That's what I'm celebrating.
Was that where you did your first stand-up? Was at the Ice House?
No, I did it in Florida at the comic strip in Fort Lauderdale. But I started when I was 20,
right?
And I'm about to be 63, so...
Damn.
43 years.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's no indie tour dates here. Phoenix, Arizona, New York in the middle of July. Spokane the week after, 18th and 19th of July. Austin, Texas in August. Then Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Then La Jolla, Seattle, and Denver.
Yeah, a lot of places all over the place.
All over the place, which is outstanding. How can people get tickets to this? Just go anywhere and just pop in Jeff Garlin?
Well, you name the cities.
Okay.
Guess which comedy club? You did the worst promotion that has ever been done. No, you just named random cities.
Desert Ridge Improv in Phoenix. Hold on a minute. Hold on, I'm going to get it all out now. City Winery in New York, July 11th and 12th. The 18th and 19th, Spokane Comedy Club in Spokane. It's not Spokane, everybody, so back off. I didn't mean to be that aggressive. Cap City Comedy Club in Austin, Texas. Hyenas Comedy Club in Fort Worth, Texas. That's in August. La Jolla, the Comedy Store, Emerald City Comedy Club, Seattle, and then Comedy Works
Denver.
South. Don't go to Comedy Works North.
Well, no, they have two. The South is a bigger. By the way, I've never played either of them, but I've only heard that they're like the best club in the country.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's in Denver, Colorado, September 19th and 20th.
Yeah, we covered that.
The question is will the Rockies have more wins than the date that you're performing on at that point in time? The 19th and 20th.
Well, I got to tell you something. Yes, they're about to be swept by the Cubs today. But the point being is, well, no, hold on. But the point being is they've played tough.
Yes.
The Cubs, they win last night 2-1, 3-1.
Right.
You know, it's not like, look, and they have some really good young, Hunter Goodman's really good.
Yeah.
You know, and what's his name? Tovar, the shortstop. They have some. It's really, you can only blame one thing, front office and ownership. You can't blame the players.
They took your third baseman in free agency and then haven't spent a damn thing, the Rockies.
I know,
They
but,
took,
but also the we didn't know that as Cub fans, and I'm assuming the front office didn't know that. He's fallen apart. He had great in San Francisco.
Right.
And then, boom, you sign a big contract with a crappy team. What did they sell him with that? You know, I also want to say, where are you?
It's TJ.
Okay.
Yes.
That is the greatest April Fool's joke, and I'm grateful that it was a joke.
Because you didn't want any piece of Russell Wilson. At the time,
in
you
hindsight, hold on. Like I said, that's where quarterbacks go to die. So it was exciting. But in hindsight, no. Who do I thank? And I'm just going to thank you.
You're welcome, Jeff.
TJ.
Oh, you're over there.
Yeah, right behind you.
Did you?
But you used to be over there.
No, I was always here.
Tell him,
Before I started, I was over there.
Tell him who's on your fantasy team. Who's on your baseball fantasy team?
Who's on my team?
Yeah,
catcher?
No, the right fielder, the New York Metropolitans.
Okay. Here's my outfield, and it sounds like the greatest outfield in the history of fantasy.
Go for it.
Soto.
Okay.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Acuna.
Okay. Matata. Now, question mark is when is Juan Soto going to start hitting, huh?
Well, by the way, he's Juan Soto.
Yeah.
So really, when he decides, he's so good. Something's going on because he's so good.
I don't know what's going on.
And he knows the pressure of playing in New York.
It's a different borough, Jeff.
By the way,
different borough.
Different borough.
This is what Rich is saying. This is Rich's argument.
That's what Soto's manager is saying. It's a new world for him. Like Queens is a different country.
It is. It's where a king went to find a bride.
Why the man didn't re-sign with the Yankees makes no sense whatsoever.
Because he didn't get he wasn't paid the most.
Let's say the Yankees offered him $50 million less.
Yeah.
It's the perfect place. You've had success there. Do you need that extra $50 million when you're making $700 million?
Apparently.
Yeah, that is just how much. By the way,
the Swedes don't pay for themselves.
Is it inappropriate to have a crush on your wife?
It is not. You could see her standing off.
I love her so much.
Susie's on
She's
the
one
set.
of the greatest people I've ever met.
I agree.
No, she really is.
+1.
And I miss you. I haven't seen you in so long.
Give you a hug when we're done.
I'm signed in.
Good to see you.
That's
Jeff
why Rich put a
Garlin,
ring
everybody.
on it, Jeff.
So before we
we have to talk about the Cubs a little more.
Talk about what they're
Okay.
Cubs a little more.
Well,
what do you want to talk about?
Think about this. They lost their two frontline starters, one for the season.
Yes.
And they're playing the way they are. Ian Happ goes down. They're playing the way they are. It's such a next man up situation with just joy, and they're just doing it. Bob Odenkirk, I'll name drop. One of my oldest friends. Hey, we were friends when we were both dirt poor, okay? But anyhow, anytime the Cubs pull off any kind of win, he's contacting me. I'm actually going to some games with him in July.
Yeah, because he's doing Broadway up until the end of June. I just saw him at Glen Close. I just saw him.
He was amazing.
Amazing.
The show's pretty good.
Him and Bill Burr and Michael McKean.
Everyone in the show is excellent.
Yeah.
But Bob's great. He got nominated for a Tony.
He's amazing.
The idea that Bob's nominated for a Tony?
Yeah.
What world am I living in?
Emmys, Tonys.
But by the way, not in terms of untalent. He is so hey.
That's the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I just want to say to you, if you're in the New York area, or you're planning on going to the New York area, don't go to a Mets game and see Juan Soto. Go on Broadway and see Glengarry again. It's a show.
See that play. See that.
Glenn Ross on Broadway with Bob Odenkirk, Bill Burr, etc. Bob Odenkirk, they say these things on billboards during the Academy Awards. Bob Odenkirk, a revelation. That was a little bipolar.
No, by the way, no, that was great. And by the way, and you still had a better hit rate than Juan Soto in that promo.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. By the way, just stop making fun of him. He's Juan Soto.
I'm not making fun of him.
I have lots of rookie
I'm having
cards.
fun at his expense. Is that the same thing or it's different?
Well, if he was on the Yankees, you wouldn't be doing
That's
this.
correct.
And why he didn't
Guilty
stay.
as charged.
Oh, God, you've got the Yankee history, the Yankee.
That's all right.
You could be one of the
because he said it was a Mets town. That's why I can't handle it.
But that's
what if somebody left the Cubs for the White Sox and says he did it because it's a White Sox town, even though it was obvious that he took.
Hold on.
This is great. That Reinsdorf would open his Velcro wallet large enough to pay somebody that much money.
Well, that's all right. Let's take an assumption.
I understand that you're suspending a lot of disbelief
here. Let's say Pete Crow-Armstrong.
There it is.
Okay,
That's the noise. Yes.
Goes
Pete Crow goes to because it's a White Sox town. And
but do you understand? Even White Sox fans would laugh at that.
That's right. That's why I would look for him to laugh at it. But no.
Do you know I'm the same age as the New York Mets? Exactly. Yes. 62.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the
and
Apple.
also Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy, his debut, 1962. So if you ask me, I'm the same age as the Mets and Spider-Man.
Who knew?
I can go now.
Do you before you go, do you miss Curb? Because I do. Do you miss it?
Yes, very much. Very much. But I'm really happy we ended when we did and the way that we ended.
You did like that.
Oh, yeah, because
it was a great ending.
I think we could have had more really funny, smart seasons, but I do believe at a certain point you just got to go, we're not look, I liked making the money. Sure. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
No,
right.
I did.
Sure.
But artistically, we got out even longer than some people do. And it was glorious to have 12 years with that show. And we ended the way I would want to end the show. So I'm really pleased that it's ended. But the whole cast is extremely close.
Right.
And we had joy, literal joy, every day on the set, and so, yeah, I miss it.
Your favorite episode?
The weird thing is my favorite episode, there's so many moments, like your Larry David, you happen to, like wearing ladies' underwear, etc. Wandering Bear.
Why?
Where Cheryl's vagina is in disarray, and Larry talks to the gardener who has an Indian way of curing it, and Larry and I are obsessed with Girls Gone Wild, and my dog runs away. Now, what I love about that episode, and if I could put one in a time capsule, it would be that one, it's not connected to any storyline.
Right.
It's just this lonely little thing, and everything in it I think is funny, and I love doing that episode.
Oh, my God.
So I'm the only one who would ever say Wandering Bear.
Which is your favorite ad-lib that you came up with?
Okay. Are you setting me up? Because
I am not.
Okay. People don't know this. Larry went around, Susie went around, all of them. No one, and I said, what am I going to do after the take? Tell everybody it was me. Mm-hmm. Larry, I never thought of you as a floor fucker.
Careful.
Okay, so
if you keep telling the story, use the effort.
Okay.
Use the effort.
Okay.
The Springsteen scene?
Yeah, so yes.
I remember that.
So Larry, we're finding out that Larry, his former girlfriend who worked on the show, became a man, and he's horrified to talk about what they did. And the guy says, Larry and I used to make love on the floor. So we filmed that a couple times. Very funny. So in between takes, I said, tell Larry you never thought of him as a floor F. And
you said this to Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, I whispered it to him. He goes, I go, wait one beat. And so, of course, he knows what a beat is. And he go, wait one beat and then do it. Well, hey, I like, He does it. The second they yell cut, the building gets people go nuts. The funniest thing ever. I said to Larry, that's in the show. He goes, that's in the show. Yes. Okay. And so what am I going to do? I gave that to him, like running around the set. Me. So I never talked about it. So here I am on your show, letting people know my brain. And I also came out with who the leader of the the Big Johnson community was. I went to JV. I go, say Horse C. Williams. And
he used it.
Yes, and guess what? I own the trademark to Horse C. Williams. I'm not even kidding. I own a few trademarks from things I've said on the show. Yeah.
Oh my God. What's it like feeding Bruce Springsteen a line that he?
Okay,
Come on, man.
I just want to tell you this. I spent the entire day with Bruce Springsteen, and he's one of my love him.
Sure.
And Bruce Springsteen is everything you'd want him to be, with a great sense of humor. And I asked him one question about music.
Yes.
And I said, I got one question. He goes, all right. And I said, when you're on stage playing a song, you're in concert, and you know Badlands is next, what are you thinking? And he goes, that's a great question. He was so excited. He goes, what I'm thinking is, all right, you're enjoying this? Wait. Just wait. That's what he's thinking. That's awesome. And then so I dealt with him there, and he was a man, like dealing with.
Sure.
I saw him at the Garden on April 1st, and he was 10 feet tall on stage.
I bet.
He asked for me to come to his dressing room, which he doesn't do, after the show. And I said, Jeff, thank you. And he hugged me, and at the end he goes, Jeff, come here and give me a hug. That man was 2 feet tall with nothing. In other words, he expended everything he had, and I saw this little guy covered in sweat come up, and it was very, I was dissociating with all of it.
I bet.
And that night after, you want me to wrap up? Yes. That night after I saw him at the Garden, and what a sweet man. I love him. I had to, because I was so in disarray that I had to go do a couple stand-up sets to sort of get my feet on the ground.
To get your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
I just thought you said you go back to his room and he was on the floor. That would have been fantastic.
Naked, wearing an Abe Lincoln hat.
Jeff Garlin, everybody, is back on the program. Thank you for
my
coming
honor,
on.
Rich.
You're the best.
And you are the best dad ever. From your your firstborn's circumcision all the way through. You are the best dad ever.
Here's Gordon Damer with an update. We'll be right back in a moment. Jeff Garlin, everybody.
Thank you.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.